I know you both a pair of losers. All the Paul family suck.
Imagine seeing that. Can you imagine being involved in that area? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine those being your friends? You can't even imagine, the trauma, the mental trauma that would how that would affect anybody. Even people passing the other way.
Yeah, man, I feel for that. I'm hoping everybody fame is good, and I'm hoping, speedy recovery. That's all I gotta say, man. Y'all gotta do better.
Tyson Fury snaps at Jake Paul after his shocking involvement in Anthony Joshua's car accident. Fury doesn't hold back, ripping into Jake and the entire Paul family for their arrogance and complete lack of respect. He exposes their recklessness, reminding everyone that life is bigger than fame or fights. Fury's words are a brutal wake-up call about accountability and human decency.
They are not your enemies. They are your brothers and sisters under God. We all came from Adam and Eve. In the beginning, everybody on earth. Remember that. Spread love, not hate.
Tyson Fury is absolutely livid after Anthony Joshua's devastating car accident, where tragically 2 of AJ's closest friends lost their lives. Fury doesn't hold back, blasting Jake Paul and the entire Paul family for their reckless involvement. He highlights Joshua's survival and resilience, while making it painfully clear that life, friendship, and human decency matter far more than fame, fights, or viral antics. Fury's words land like a knockout, exposing the Paul's arrogance in the face of real tragedy. Gerald Miller is visibly shaken by Anthony Joshua's horrific accident, and his words show the weight of real tragedy. With 2 of AJ's closest friends losing their lives, Gerald empathizes deeply, contrasting Joshua's ordeal with Jake Paul's reckless involvement. He reminds everyone how fragile life is, and how fame or fights mean nothing when loved ones are gone.
You don't know what other people are going through. And even though AJ, we're not on the best terms, man, I feel for this brother, man. Because it could have been my family, could have been my friends. And, I feel like, man, it's mentally kind of draining looking at this stuff all day online. And like I said, I didn't really see nothing too graphic until this morning. Was like, now I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my life, man. I've seen dead bodies before and all that. Man, I don't even know how to even express myself.
Joe Rogan raises critical questions about Anthony Joshua's condition after the accident, highlighting the uncertainty around his recovery. With 2 of AJ's closest friends tragically lost and Jake Paul's involvement under scrutiny, the situation underscores the serious consequences of reckless actions. Joshua's resilience now becomes the focal point for concern and admiration alike.
Happened to him when he survived, right? Like, did he hit his head? Did he hit his neck? Like, what is he okay? Like, is he 100%, or is he always gonna be a little fuck from that?
Johnny Nelson reflects on the profound human cost of Anthony Joshua's accident, emphasizing the fragility of life. With 2 friends lost and Jake Paul's reckless actions casting a shadow, Nelson reminds viewers that real-life tragedies outweigh any fight or feud. The focus shifts to compassion, respect, and supporting those affected by this devastating event.
It's just sad. It just makes you realize how valuable life is, and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing a life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these 2 men who were somebody's child, someone's brother. And that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost their lives.
Pain Game highlights just how severe Anthony Joshua's car accident was and how much his body must be suffering. Surviving such a life-threatening event, especially after losing 2 close friends, emphasizes AJ's resilience. The situation also exposes the recklessness surrounding Jake Paul, reminding everyone that real-life consequences are far more serious than any fight or spectacle.
through such a severe car accident there. Like, all right, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there.
Eddie Hearn emphasizes the importance of support for Anthony Joshua and the families affected by this tragic accident. With two of AJ's closest friends lost and the scrutiny on Jake Paul's involvement, Hearn's insight reminds viewers that beyond fame and headlines, ensuring proper medical care and emotional support is the top priority for those impacted.
Dealing with the inquiries and the media, and you can imagine how many people are trying to find out.
Sean Fury's heartfelt message captures the relief and gratitude everyone feels that Anthony Joshua survived such a catastrophic accident. Highlighting AJ's luck and resilience, Fury acknowledges the shocking loss of his two closest friends while praising Joshua for enduring a traumatic event that could have been far worse. His words serve as a reminder that life's fragility surpasses fame, fights, or social media drama. Fury also subtly contrasts the real dangers of life with the recklessness of figures like Jake Paul, underlining the importance of accountability, care, and support when tragedy strikes.
God bless you, AJ. You're one lucky lad. God bless you, my lad. Glad you're alive again. Shocked me, it has. Terrible. Anyway, good luck, everybody, and try and enjoy the new year as much as you can and be safe.
Chris Eubank Jr.'s reaction to Anthony Joshua's horrific car accident captures the shock and concern reverberating through the boxing world. AJ's survival, despite the tragedy claiming two of his closest friends, highlights the fragility of life outside the ring. Eubank Jr. doesn't shy away from subtly condemning reckless figures like Jake Paul, whose involvement only adds to the outrage. This incident underscores that boxing fame and viral notoriety mean nothing when human lives are at stake. Eubank Jr. reminds viewers that resilience, accountability, and support for those affected are far more important than headlines or social media clout. Anthony Joshua's situation, emphasizing the life-threatening accident and the tragic loss of two close friends. AJ, a global star, could have easily been another headline, yet his survival underscores both luck and resilience. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's reckless behavior and prior feuds only draw scrutiny, painting a picture of fame overshadowed by irresponsibility. Sonny Faz reminds viewers that life is unpredictable. Fights, money, and viral stunts mean nothing when real tragedy strikes. The focus shifts to human survival, grief, and accountability, showing that Anthony's ordeal is far beyond the ring, and the world is watching every consequence.
2 weeks ago, this guy's in front of the whole world. Netflix, millions of dollars, breaks Jake Paul's jaw in 2 places, decides to go back to Nigeria, almost dies. 2 of his closest friends pass away in the accident. You never know what day's your last.
Sonny Faz highlights the gravity of Anthony Joshua's situation, emphasizing the life-threatening accident and the tragic loss of 2 close friends. AJ, a global star, could have easily been another headline, yet his survival underscores both luck and resilience. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's reckless behavior and prior feuds only draw scrutiny, painting a picture of fame overshadowed by irresponsibility. Sonny Faz reminds viewers that life is unpredictable. Fights, money, and viral stunts mean nothing when real tragedy strikes. The focus shifts to human survival, grief, and accountability, showing that Anthony's ordeal is far beyond the ring, and the world is watching every consequence.
It's just sad. It just makes you realize how valuable life is, and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs, and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing your life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these 2 men who were somebody's child, someone's brother. And that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost their life.
Gareth A. Davis reflects on the events leading up to Anthony Joshua's tragic accident, noting the risks and recklessness surrounding Jake Paul. While fans debated the fight and Paul's vulnerabilities, Joshua's character and class stand in sharp contrast. The accident, claiming 2 close friends, reveals the fragility behind fame and fights, showing that viral moments and social media stunts carry real-life consequences. Davis emphasizes AJ's professionalism and resilience, highlighting that accountability and caution are essential when lives are on the line. This incident is a sobering reminder that real tragedies outweigh any promotional hype or headline-making spectacle.
But some very interesting and germane points you make there in this moment, Raheem, that I think What I've noticed, that obviously there were a kind of panoply of opinions about him fighting Jake Paul to take it back a week and a half. I mean, I was critical of that fight being signed, first of all, because I worried about the dangers for Jake Paul. He got his jaw broken at the end of the day, and kind of used the scars as a flag in his new moon, delusionally optimistic, in his words, as he is about these things. So Anthony Joshua went to America a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, played the role which he needed to play, was very classy throughout.
Joe Rogan's shocking remark underscores just how close Anthony Joshua came to a life-altering or fatal accident. The gravity of this moment is amplified by the tragic loss of two of AJ's closest friends in the same crash, making it one of the darkest events in recent boxing history. Rogan's observation highlights both the fragility of life and the thin line between survival and disaster. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's reckless behavior leading up to this event adds a layer of controversy and public outrage. Joshua's resilience and sheer luck now take center stage, showing the world that real life is far more unpredictable and serious than fights, fame, or social media feuds. This incident reminds everyone that accountability and caution must outweigh clout and bravado.
I mean,
that's bonkers. Thank God he didn't have a seatbelt on. I never say that. Thank God he didn't have a fucking seatbelt on, because if he did,
there's no way
he would be dead. Probably, or fucking severely.
Liam Guff delivers a sobering update on Anthony Joshua's tragic car accident, emphasizing the loss of two close friends alongside AJ's own injuries. His condolences highlight the human toll behind the headlines, reminding viewers that boxing fame and social media stunts pale in comparison to real-life tragedy. The situation exposes the recklessness and irresponsibility of figures like Jake Paul, whose involvement has intensified public scrutiny. AJ's survival, despite such extreme circumstances, underscores his resilience and the fragile line between life and death. Goff's commentary also stresses the importance of empathy, support, and careful reporting during crises, illustrating that tragedy is never just a news story. It's a profound human event impacting families, friends, and the broader community. The focus is on recovery, reflection, and the value of life itself.
Anthony Joshua injured in car accident. Two people who I believe were with Anthony Joshua were friends of his have tragically passed away. Before I carry on reading the article, the two people who have tragically passed, my condolences is all I can say to their friends and families. We'll definitely offer up some prayers for them.
Alexander Usyk's response emphasizes the profound personal impact of Anthony Joshua's accident, mourning the loss of two team members who were also close friends. His words highlight the deep connections in AJ's camp, showing that this tragedy goes far beyond headlines. Usyk's condolences and encouragement for Joshua's recovery reinforce the human side of the story, reminding fans that survival and emotional resilience now matter more than any fight or rivalry. By publicly expressing support, Usyk underscores the solidarity and compassion within the boxing world during moments of real crisis, spotlighting AJ's courage and the weight of personal loss.
Usyk said, "This is an unbelievable loss. Sinna and Latif are two incredible people who are not only part of AJ's team, but also friends. My sincere condolences to their families, loved ones, and everyone who knew them. Anthony Joshua, wishing you a speedy recovery. Stay strong."
Showbiz the Adult provides the breaking news of Anthony Joshua's accident, giving viewers a clear understanding of the circumstances. AJ's SUV struck a stationary truck. While the details remain uncertain, the focus is on the severity of the incident and the tragic loss of two of AJ's closest friends. This incident has sent shockwaves through the boxing community, not only because of Joshua's global stature, but also due to the reckless involvement of figures like Jake Paul, whose actions contributed to the tension surrounding the situation. Showbiz emphasizes the human cost, reminding the audience that behind the fame, millions of dollars, and viral headlines, real lives hang in the balance. Prayers and support for AJ and his family are essential, highlighting the fragility of life and the responsibility of all those involved.
Was SUV struck the stationary truck. So I just want to give you guys the breaking news. Unfortunately, Anthony Joshua was involved in a car accident in Nigeria. Prayers to Anthony J. Joshua and his
Anthony Joshua's accident is a stark reminder that life can change in an instant, and the loss of two of his closest friends makes this tragedy even more heartbreaking. While Joshua shows incredible resilience and courage, Jake Paul and his family's reckless behavior are impossible to ignore, highlighting a shocking lack of responsibility in the face of real danger. Fans and fighters alike are shaken, realizing that fame, fights, or viral drama mean nothing compared to human life. Now more than ever, AJ needs support, respect, and space to recover physically and mentally. Let this incident be a wake-up call to the boxing community. Accountability and care are non-negotiable. Comment below with your thoughts. How do you feel about Jake Paul's involvement, and what lessons should the sport take from this devastating accident?